the fate of the unsealed and the truth about the tribe of Gad. And the 144,000 of all the tribes of Iy'Izreal is sealed, and also the revelation of the reservation of the unsealed tribe of Gad. And also the banishment of all the unsealed people by Iys, to their uncertain fate. Friends, the descendants of the tribe of Gad or God isn't one of the 12 tribe of Iy'Izreal whose Hebrew's name was called Iys, and whose name was named after Iys, and whose name came to be named Iys, and whose name was also called Jacob, when Jacob's name was changed to Iy'Izreal when Iys was named after Elu'hym Iys, E. And also the sovereign head. And also holy E. The king of all the tribes of Iy'Izreal. Was the Holy One whom is the ancestral creator of all Iys heavens and Iys earth. Therefore the tribe of Gad or the children of God were the representatives of the tribe of Gad, and also the children of Godreel, and also the descendants of the Canaanites, and also the descendants of Gad were called the Gadites. And because the name Godreel was also known to be the forefather of the tribe of Gad, and whose name was also used as another name for Satan, and whose descendants and whose tribe was considered not to be part of the heritage of Iy'Izreal, and whose descendants them weren't a part of the ancestry of Iys, and whose children were not considered to receive any of Iys' heritage, because they were the descendants of Godreel, who was also known as Gad and God, and who would be banished forever by Iys, for his abjuration away from Iys, and for his blasphemy against Iys, and whose name was known as Satan, and also who was the evil one who was found to be culpable for the corruption of Iys' creation. And because of his incessant evil behavior, and for his incest with Iy'Eve, and also because of his incestuous descendants them who were known as the Canaanites, and who were found to be ineligible of not being worthy to be sealed by Iys, because they were the illegitimate descendants of Gad and Godreel, and whose name was also known to be Gog, and God, and Godreel, and the Lord, meaning Baal. And because they were of the offspring of the descendants of Godreel, and the tribe of Gad, and whose existence came to be because of incest, and because of the illegitimate union of Iy'Eve and Godreel whom had deceived Iy'Eve into having children, when they disobeyed Iys, in the beginning of Iys' creation. And when the old serpent Godreel beguiled Iy'Eve, and who was also known as God and Godreel. And also when Satan who was known as God was cast out of Iys' garden and also Iys' holy kingdom and who lost any claims of obtaining any heritage from Iys, and also when his descendants them lost their heritage. When his name was being blotted out of the kingdom of Iys, and from under Iys' heaven. And it was because of his stance against Iys, and also his blasphemy against Iys, whom Iys Thee Sovereign King of heaven. And also this was when the tribe of Gad and his descendants them were exempted from Iys' holy promises, and whose descendants them were excluded from being one of the 12 tribe of Iy'Izreal, and whose descendant them were rejected by Iys, and many of them were unsealed. And so it would be in the end time when many of them would be lost because they would not be sealed by Iys, and many of them would be the ones who would be reserved for God who was their forefather, because they would not be accepted by Iys. And it's because they were the tribe, and the descendants that were rejected Iys, whose name is also known as Iy'Izreal. When Iys, whose name was changed to the Hellenistic name which was known as Jacob today, and also to the Romanized name which was known by many as Jacob, and also whose name was changed from the Hebrew name which was Iys, and to the name Iy'Izreal, and whose descendants them were also known to be called the descendants of Iy'Izreal, and whose ancestors were known to be called the Hebrews people, and whose ancestral creator was called Iys, and whose ancestral father and creator was also called Iys, and also holy E, and also the Almighty E, and E, the Odd, and also Elu'hym, and E, the Holy One. So the forefather of the Hebrews people was called Iys, and their sovereign head was named E, and E was also called Iys, and also Iy'Izreal, and Iy'Izreal, meaning Jacob, who was also named after Iys, and whose name was also known as Iys. and whose descendants them were the descendants of Abraham, the Hebrew, and whose Romanized name was also known as Abraham. And friend, this is the truth. And this is that the descendants of Satan were the Canaanites. But the descendants of Iy'ELU were the Hebrews, people whom became to be known as the children of Iy'ELU. And also the descendants of Iy'Izreal. And this is one of the reasons why the tribe of Gad was exempted from being sealed by Iy'ELU. And this is the reason why there isn't any mentioning of the tribe of Gad, and that they were being sealed by Iy'ELU, instead of the tribe of Dan. And this is also the truth. But there is an error in the Bible about the children of Gad, and also the tribe of Gad, and because it was the tribe of Gad that Iy'ELU didn't sealed. But instead it was the tribe of Dan and the descendants of Dan. And it was the tribe of Gad that was rejected. And it was the tribe of Dan that were sealed by Iy'ELU. But it was the tribe of Gad that was rejected by Iy'ELU, and not the tribe of Dan. And it was the 12 tribes of Iy'Izreal that was being sealed by Iy'ELU, with the exception of the tribe of Gad. Because the tribe of Gad wasn't a part of the 12 tribes of Iy'Izreal. And the tribe of Gad, they were the ones that were lost because they weren't being sealed by Iy'ELU. And this is the truth. But the notion that the tribe of Dan, that they were totally exempt from being sealed by Iy'ELU, is false. And the idea that the tribe of Gad or the Gadites, that their tribe had replaced the tribe of Dan, and also the descendants of Dan, is not true, and that they were one of the 12 tribes, this is true. And I believe it is also true that they are the children of Satan. And at the time of the end, when the tribes them would be sealed by Iy'ELU, that the tribe of Gad wouldn't be sealed by Iy'ELU, nor neither would they be replaced by the tribe of Dan as a part of the 12 tribes. This is the truth, and this is not false. Friends, the fact of the matter is that the tribe of Gad, they were the descendants of Godreel, whom was also known to be called by the name of Satan, and also whose name was also known to be called God. Friends, Satan is hiding the fact that his descendants them would not be sealed by Iy'ELU, and that the tribe of Gad, that they would be the one tribe that would be rejected by Iy'ELU, and that the tribe of Gad, that it would be the tribe that would remain unsealed. And the fact is that there's no mention of the tribe of Gad being sealed by Iy'ELU in the end times, is quite telling. And what many Bible scholars doesn't realize is the fact that the tribe of Gad, and the children of God, and the descendants of Gad are the Gadites. And they are the children of Godreel, and also the children of God. And who are the descendants of Satan. And that the name of God is the short form of the name for Shaitan, whose name is also called Gad and God and Godreel. And that Gad, and God, and Godreel are other names for the serpent of old, whom is known as Satan. And that God and Godreel was the serpent, and Satan. And whose name was also known as Gog and Gad and God. And that the name Godreel was also shortened to form the name God. And whose name before times was called Gad and also God. And also that Gog God Gad was the evil one, and also the deceiver, whom was named Satan, and also the devil. Please continue on. Revelations chapter 7 verse 1 to 17, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any trees. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of Iy'ELU, whom is also known as and the living odd. And I heard the voice of Iy'ELU, as Iys' voice was heard, giving Iys' commandment to Iys' 4 angels, whom was given the commandment not to hurt the earth and the seas. And Iys' voice was saying to them not to hurt the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till after all the servants of Iy'ELU had being sealed in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the descendants of the tribes of the children of Iy'Izreal. And of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Dan were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Nephthalim were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. And after that there was a great multitude of people from every nation. And after this I beheld, the odd. And, as I looked on, there was a great multitude, which no man could number, and who had come out of Iys World. And who was a part of Iys holy kingdom. And Iys kingdom was great. And which was like a great sun. And which was like a brilliant light that was in Iys universe. And it was there that we all beheld Iy'ELU, the odd. And there were many people from all the nations, and from all kindred, and from all people, and from all tongues, and we all stood before Iys throne, and we all stood before Iy'ELU, the odd. And we were given clothing by Iy'ELU, and white robes, and we all were given Iys songs of Iys psalms in our hands. And we all began to sing with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to Iy'ELU, our odd, whom is sitting upon Iys throne, and whom is the Almighty, and whom is ruling Iys World, and Iys universe. And all the other angels them stood around about Iys throne, and around about Iys elders. And Iys glory shone from Iys countenance, and around and about and around and about Iys four chemiluminescence cherub beings, who fell down before Iys throne on their faces. And we, and Iys angels them, and Iys elders all bow down. And we all worshipped Iy'ELU, the odd, saying, So let it be. Amen, blessing, and glory, and wisdom, and thanksgiving, and honor, and power, and might, be unto the Iy'ELU whom is our odd, forever and ever. So let it be. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, And who are all these people whom are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they? Do you know? And I said unto him, No, sir, thou knows. And he said to me, These are they whom have come out of great tribulation, and who have washed their robes, and whom have made them white in the blood of Iy'ELU, whom was he, and the Christ, and also the sacrificial lamb, and whom was the Holy One, and whom has died to forgive all the sins of everyone in Iys universe. Therefore Iys cherub are giving praises before the throne of Iy'ELU. And they were the ones serving Iy'ELU every day in Iys holy temple, and when Iy'ELU, whom is the odd, was sitting down upon Iys throne. And when Iy'ELU shall come, and Iy'ELU shall dwell among them. And then Iys people shall never hunger any more, nor neither shall they have any thirst for the former things more. And neither shall the sun nor the sunlight would be there to shine sunlight on them, nor its heat. Because He is the light. And because Iys kingdom is complete. And because He, whom was the sacrificial lamb, have redeemed them. And they shall see Iy'ELU. And they shall dwell in Iys holy habitation. And Iy'ELU the odd, whom is now living in the midst of Iys throne, shall protect them, and He shall feed them, and Iy'ELU shall lead them to the fountains of living waters, and He, the odd, shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes. The end. Thank you. To be continued.